Alright, welcome back to the channel. Warhammer Man back in the studio, and we've got this week's Sunday preview. If you're new to the channel, make sure to like and subscribe for Warhammer 40,000, Kill Team Necromunda, Age of Sigmar, and warcry content as well. Today, we're going to be looking at the next week releases, Sunday preview, dive into a new chapter of Warhammer Underworlds. So this is honestly a little bit surprising. We basically just saw our first signs of this new Warhammer Underworlds Nether Maze expansion or game, and it's already coming out right away this week, so that is kind of surprising. We normally get a little time, notice, advance, kind of build up, etc. So I honestly was expecting this to be like a couple weeks or even a month or so down the road. This week is a big one for the fans of the ultimate competitive miniatures game, Warhammer Underworlds, with a new box set which you'll be able to pre-order from next Saturday. On top of that, you'll also be able to grab the new Black Library books, collectible sticker packs, and enjoy more weekly programming from Warhammer Plus. So let's just go ahead and work our way through here. So Warhammer Underworlds. There'll be an incredible Warhammer Underworlds box available for pre-order from this Saturday, bringing 2 vicious new warbands into action-packed competitive play. Buckle up, we're sojourning from Harrowdeep into the Nether Maze. So here we see the box set here. Looks pretty good. I love the models in the set. It is super cool. Now, as far as pricing, I can only guess on this. We saw like the previous Underworlds was $60, and then Harrowdeep jumped up to $90. I know they kind of changed the game a little bit, like made it, I don't know, changed around like kind of the card packs and everything, and some of like the rules as to if you could take like your specific warband cards or if you had to take like generic ones. I don't know a ton about the game, so people have explained it to me, and honestly, I still don't understand 100% what the deal is with this. But from $60 for one to $90 for the next is a 50% jump in the price. So I honestly don't know if that was just because Harrowdeep or if that's just like the new price now. So I would imagine this is going to come in somewhere between like in the middle to the same price as Harrowdeep. So I'm expecting this to be like $75 to $90. I don't think it's going to go back down to like the $60 price tag of the starter set. So that is just my opinion. I really don't know though, so we'll have to see. Nether Maze is a stone cold smackdown in one of the strangest regions of Ulgu. In a corner, we have the Shadeborn, a wicked band of 4 Khaine Shadowstalkers who fit right into the eerie environment. So these are super cool. They remind me of the warcry warband. Obviously have some unique poses, unique models. They look really good. Absolutely loving these. Yeah, they look great. These 2 are definitely my favorite. Obviously the character is super cool. Not quite as eccentric as the one from Warcry. But this pose right here is awesome as well. I don't know why. I just really like the actual like kind of look of that model. And then these 2 are super cool as well. So great set for them. And then matching their ninja vibes are our favorable Skaven assassins, Skittershanks, Clawpack, who bring these sneaky tricks to the clans Ashen to your games of Warhammer Underworlds. So these look great as well. I'm absolutely loving these. Obviously the leader looks great. I love the poison. I love the actual like bases, the net guy, you know, with the like Triskill, and then of course like the assassin kind of jumping over the smoke. These guys are both cool as well. The bola and the like, you know, a couple melee weapons. Look really good. I love the bases. They look great. I love the models. They're super active. Really loving the new look of these type of Skaven. I'm really hoping at some point in time they redo the line. They're definitely overdue. And with like the potential of some of these models, you see like what they could be. The Nether Maze itself is the mortal realms at their most strange. It's a mystical labyrinth below Harrowdeep, home to the bizarre architects of the Fell Arena. This new core set contains anything you need to get going with Warhammer Underworlds, including a rulebook, 11 dice, 114 tokens, 2 double-sided boards, and a mammoth number of cards. These include fighter cards and a complete 32-card Rivals deck for each of your new warbands, as well as a set of 48 entirely new Universal cards and 36 Grand Alliance cards split evenly between Order, Chaos, Death, and Destruction. This artwork is absolutely stunning. Love this artwork. I mean, the colors, everything about it. It's awesome. You'll be able to pre-order this new box this coming Saturday, and that's not all for the Warhammer Underworlds. The Exiled Dead. So we obviously saw these guys previewed already. If you love classic horror, then the Exiled Dead are for you. As the story goes, a rogue necromancer experimented with forbidden technology to raise the dead, harnessing the power of electricity as well as some good old-fashioned dark magic. Dantalus shambling Ekwallers are the abomination even to others of his kind, so he hit the road to search for a place that could experiment in peace. Now there's a bit of a zombie problem in Harrowdeep, and soon the Nether Maze. These are okay. I mean, I get the idea of it. It's like the Dr. Frankenstein thing going on here. The Necromancer looks okay. Not like super impressed by these models. The rest of the guys are pretty subpar in my opinion. You know, I really like the zombies and skeletons from the like most recent line. I feel like these just don't live up to the hype. I mean, the actual they resemble the zombies, the newer like style zombies, but they're just not like that cool or detailed in my opinion. So for me, this is a miss. I know some people are hyped for them for sure. I do like the idea of like the, you know, kind of Dr. Frankenstein, like electricity kind of things going on, but just the actual models themselves are just not up to standard. Most members of the Exiled Dead, particularly the reanimated ones, begin the game inspired. The Dantalos uses them to deliver lethal concurrent blows using the powerful Dance Dynamic ability, as well as 32 Exiled Dead cards. The set also comes with 20 Universal Objective, Upgrade, and Gambit cards, as well as 3 more cards for each Grand Alliance. It will be available to pre-order on Saturday. And then we have Rivals of the Harrowdeep. You can now add the 2 new Warbands from Warhammer Underworlds Harrowdeep box to your collection. The Rivals of Harrowdeep set contains both Zondiers, Truth Seekers, and Da Kunin crew, along with their complete Rivals deck to get you playing right away. The former are an aggressive group of Stormcast Eternals who inspire when one of their numbers fall, setting up deadly reprisals. The latter are individually weaker and work better by isolating individual enemies and ganging up on them. So these models are pretty cool. I definitely like them. I like the diversity of like the actual sculpts. The actual sculpts look great. The bases look great. The models are super unique from 2 lines that are pretty full. I mean, there's tons of Stormcast and, you know, tons of kruleboyz as well. And each one of these models looks super, super unique. Really nice looking stuff right here. So, Rivals of Harrowdeep arrives for pre-order this Saturday, along with Warhammer Underworlds Nether Maze and the Exiled Dead. We sense a wild weekend of Warhammer Underworlds action in your near future. So we know that the set is 95. Oh, you know what? I might have said the price is too low earlier. It's 60 and 95. So it went from 60 for the starter set to 95 for Harrowdeep. So realistically, that other expansion set probably comes out at 80. And then what's going to happen with these? I don't really know, because this is the models from the $95 set without like the boards and some of the other stuff with a Rivals deck. So, I mean, is this 2 Warbands packaged together? Most of the Warbands are like, I think like $35 now for the most recent ones. So that would put 2 Warbands at like 70. So is this going to come out at like $80? Is it going to come out at 70? Really not sure. There's definitely, these are cool models for sure. But there's definitely a point where you draw the line what you're willing to pay for, like, you know, what is it? 9 guys technically, or 8 guys. I don't know where that line is. These are great sculpts, but it's not sure how this is going to sell. I think most people that probably wanted both of these warbands just bought Harrowdeep, I would imagine, because you get the boards and all the other stuff with it. So I guess realistically, what they've got to make it at least like, I mean, 15 or 20 bucks cheaper if people are going to buy it, or maybe they're just going to discontinue Harrowdeep right away. But I imagine there's plenty of copies floating around anyway. So I don't know. We'll see. Not really sure what's going on with Underworlds. I know a lot of the people that follow this channel that are into Underworlds were surprised by the frequency or like how quickly this new expansion is coming out. So it seems strange. Maybe this is just a repackage because Harrowdeep did not hit hard or like sell out. So this is just a way to kind of like split it up. I think somebody that's not going to play the game is probably more likely to buy these, because honestly, sometimes money's not the factor. It's more about just having all the extra junk laying around. So I think maybe this is a decent idea. I don't know. It's really seems strange to me. So we'll see a bunch of new stuff coming out for the Underworlds players. Let me know if you are excited down below, or kind of chime in on what we discussed here. Looking for something to read when your dice rolling hand gets a cramp? Black Library has you covered. Dawn of Fire, Throne of Light. The 4th installment of the Dawn of Fire series is up for pre-order this Saturday in a variety of formats, including the hardback special edition, and will fit right in with most esteemed volumes on your shelves. So here we see Throne of Light. Throne of Light brings an ancient enemy to fore, one that Rubut Gilliman himself has reason to dread. The word bearers, led by Kor Pharaon, have their sights set on the Segmentum Solar, while the Avenging Sun is busy elsewhere, forcing the Indominus Crusade into an impossible choice between doubling back and losing their momentum, or pushing on and leaving the Emperor vulnerable. So this looks really nice. Love the style of this. I mean, this is really cool. It looks like, a fancy book that you would have on your bookshelf. Very, very nice. Obviously, limited edition. We see 2,000 right here, so signed copy with less than 2,000 available. The numbered special edition features leather effect binding, a ribbed spine, glit lettering, and page edges, plus a gold ribbon bookmark. Signed by the author Guy Haley, it also boasts additional short story and map inside. Pre-order Throne of Light in paperback, ebook, MP3, and special edition formats from this Saturday. It did say hardback up here. I don't know why it says paperback, but interesting. Next we have Gotrek Gurnison, Soulslayer. After all the adventuring and slaying Gotrek has done over the many years of his long life, and all the blood and ichor he's spilled, he's almost certainly in need of a good bath. At least that's probably what the Idoneth Deepkin tried to tell his mates before they got serious. Super cool color art. Love the brightness. Everything is like super cool, and then Gotrek is like, that fire in the middle. Really cool art there. This time around, Gotrek and his companions march to war in Shemon, only for their plans to be ruined when a band of aquatic elven raiders decide his soul, burning brightly as it does, is too good a prize to pass up. Pre-order a copy of Soulslayer this Saturday in both hardback and ebook formats. The French edition will be available for pre-order at the same time. Souldrinker 20th Anniversary Edition. Fans of certain age will remember the strange and rather tragic tale of a loyal chapter of Space Marines who found themselves falling deep into heresy. Though their intentions were pure, if you haven't yet heard the tale, this is a great time to correct the error. So, 20th Anniversary Edition of Souldrinker by Ben Counter. This handsome anniversary edition of Souldrinker bears the chapter regalia on the cover with full artwork inside. Along with the introduction by the author Ben Counter, this classic tale will also be available on ebook format, and both will be up for pre-order this Saturday. So yeah, nice looking book right there, obviously. Quite a bit coming out from Black Library lately. And then French and German editions of Flesh and Steel. And then we see some official licensed products. Our partners at Panini have done something amazing. This coming Saturday, they're releasing a full range, over 200 collectible stickers and cards featuring the multitudinous warriors of the Empire. At launch, you'll be able to pick up a starter pack, including a sticker album, and exclusive limited edition Vindicator Assassin card, a collector's card holder, and 4 packs of stickers and hero cards. So, yep, we've got Warhammer stickers for 40K. Collect them all. To fill out your collection, you can grab album stickers and cards multi-pack containing 6 packs, or album stickers and cards packs loaded with a whopping 36 full packs. Order them all from this Saturday. Warhammer stores will also have free sticker albums to give away while stocks last, and individual card packs for sale. Stop by on Saturday and see what they've got. Maybe you'll meet a trading partner while you're at it. Range rotation. As our range of models continues to expand, we have to make some room from time to time. A number of items for Warhammer 40,000 will soon be rotating out of the range. These include terrain, orc characters, tau accessories, and an array of Drukhari monstrosities. They're not gone for good, however, and will return in due course. So we talked about some of the terrain going on Last Chance to Buy, and I think this really confirms that, it could come back in some other form, but it's obviously not getting range rotated out, or we would see it on this list. So we see Drukhari Lahamian, Drukhari Urgul, Urian Rakarth, Clawed Fiend, Medusae, Chimerae, Razorwing Flock, Beastmaster, Mandrakes, Grotesques, Slith, and then for the orcs we have Captain Badruk, Boss Snickrot, Boss Zagstruck, and then for Necrons, Lord with Resurrection Orb, Overlord, Cryptek, Destroyer Lord Upgrade Pack, and for Tau we have Onva, Farsight Enclave Shoulder Pads, On Shi, and then for orcs as well we have some Forge World stuff, the Stampa Belly Gun, Stampa Claw Arm, we have the Necron Sentry Pylon Death Ray, Necron Singularity Generators, and then of course the Tau Empire Tidewall Gunrig. These miniatures will be rotated out on the 1st of May, so have a look at this list and see if there's something you need to pick up while you can. So this is basically an opportunity for you to grab these things up before they go to not available for some indeterminate amount of time. Most of these are characters, obviously. Some of these are pretty old, some not quite as old, some have other models that you could take in their places, some are only available in this sense, like something like Mandrakes or Grotesques. Those are like pretty key units for like the army, so without the ability to like pick those up, seems kind of strange. I don't know, I would imagine that they would put out kits for some of the units, like with the characters, I kind of get it because you can use another model as a character or convert one, or, there might be some floating around. But for units like Grotesques or Mandrakes or something like that, it does seem rather strange that you would potentially like not be able to get them for some crazy amount of time. At some point in time, Games Workshop basically said if a unit's in a codex, you'll be able to buy it. So I guess they mean at some point in time you'll be able to buy it, but maybe not forever. Boss Snickrot, Boss Zagstruck, some key characters. I don't know. I mean, there's not obviously now like different kind of like models that replace some of these, like a Cryptek and an Overlord or a Lord. You can get other models instead of those. Some of the characters you could use, obviously a conversion instead of Snickrot or something like that. But for the actual like units, like squad choices, that does seem strange. Razorwing Flocks were pretty popular. I'm not sure if people really take them anymore. But yeah, if you need any of these, make sure you grab them up before that May 1st deadline. I really don't know. I mean, people have said this is just like a FOMO tactic. I think, honestly, we've established over time that Games Workshop does not like to store a lot of miniatures in general, or kits in general, especially ones that aren't selling. So if you have armies that aren't like super popular, or kits or characters that aren't super popular, if they're selling like just a handful of them, it doesn't make sense for them to carry a bunch of them. So when they rotate out the range, I think the idea is by telling you that people will rush out and buy them, and then they might not actually need them, so they may just sit around open at the consumer or at the store instead of at their warehouse or at their, where they're having to store it. So then when people need them, they can rush out to like third-party market or, stores to still be able to get them, but obviously limited, but not be able to direct order them from Games Workshop. So they essentially create a little extra demand right away. People rush out and buy them because they don't want to miss out on it. And then later on, they're not available. People have to kind of source the models a little more difficultly on their own. But that eliminates them having to worry about like storing or, selling these models themselves. So that's what it feels like to me from a business standpoint. It makes sense. There's obviously carrying cost of inventory, and they have, I don't know exactly how they do their molds and everything, but I would imagine that now they can basically throw all this stuff in storage in a big batch and then put it away somewhere and not worry about having to make them when they're running low or anything. And then a few months or a year or whatever down in the future, once there's a huge demand for these and they need to rotate them back in again, they rotate them back in, do a single run, people jump back on them again, and then the cycle repeats. That's what it seems like to me. So is it a good idea? Is it a bad idea? Is it fair? That's all up to you. You let me know what you think. What's your theory on this? Are there any of these that you can't believe are going? Like for me, the characters kind of makes a little more sense because people are never going to buy more than one of a character pretty much. So if you're a Dark Eldar player or Drukhari player, you're probably only ever going to buy one Urian Rakarth. But you could buy multiple units of mandrakes, and you might need to buy, I don't know how many come in the set exactly. I think it was like 5, could be 10. But let's say you wanted to take like 20 mandrakes in your army, you might buy 4 of those kits. Or the grotesque, you might need to buy a bunch of grotesques for your army. So it makes a little less sense with actual units over characters, because the most characters you're ever going to have is like 1 if it's a unique character, or 3 if it's just like character keyword, you know, lord with or overlord or something like that. So seems a little strange to me, but overall that is our releases for this week. Honestly, not super excited about any of these. None of the releases that are going away jump out at me. Some of the books are pretty cool, but just not my style. I prefer to read different type of books, not really like a fiction reader in general. Overall, some cool stuff here. Definitely like all these models here. We'll have to see what the prices come out at some of this stuff. These guys are really, really underwhelming. This kit is super cool. If I was an Underworlds player, I would definitely be picking this up. I may still pick it up for the models. Again, we'll have to see. I have plenty of unpainted stuff, so if it's a good price, I'll probably snag it up. If not, I'll probably just wait until I need a new project, or until eventually they're available separately, etc. But I do really like both these warbands, so I wouldn't mind having them both. And usually, if I'm going to buy a box set, I want at least like 75% of that box set. So if it's for a game I'm not going to play, I want all the miniatures inside. If it's for a game I am going to play, but I'm only going to use one of the squads or warbands or armies inside, I'm okay with that, typically. Because there's enough like savings on the box over buying them individually that I don't mind having a couple extra minis that I didn't necessarily need or want. That's just my reasoning. Everybody's different. Let me know what you guys think down below. Let me know what you think about the recent commission video that came out. I got a lot of good feedback on that. Definitely appreciate all the kind words. Also, if you do enjoy this type of content, all types of reactions, reviews, news, we got tons and tons of painting, modeling tutorials, etc. for Warhammer 40,000, Kill Team Necromunda, Age of Sigmar, Warcry, obviously some Underworlds, some Horus Heresy, a little D&D, pretty much anything tabletop gaming related, specifically Games Workshop in general. Make sure to like and subscribe. Really helps out the channel. That being said, I am Warhammer Man. This is Warhammer Man Studios, and I'm out of here.